Clear skies, stormy wave day. Let's check out what's on the beach for the day. We get some people to follow along today and get some good questions. This beach is always changing from storms and weather. Shells are being refreshed twice a day with every tide. Wash something up new or just uncover something new. Got lots of wildlife. Family getaways. Just to get away from the big city sometimes. These sail shades are pretty effective here on this beach. Should get heavy winds like we got today. They just kind of conform to the currents of the wind. It's got the option of the old tent or a traditional umbrella. I think we're about high tide now, so as the tide goes out, it should start exposing some of the shells and the driftwood and different things that have washed up throughout the morning. All the apartments and condos are making a full comeback. About 2.5 years now. This island was about 12 feet underwater. We've seen places inside the middle of the island that had 8 feet of water. Definitely one of the more stormy days today. Some of the summer days that are calm, water can be crystal clear. But when it's very windy, like it is today, it stirs up all the nutrients in the water, making it this grayish color. I've seen quite a bit of the driftwood been washed up on the beach today. Someone made a turtle out of sand and shells over here. See what they made. Did a little searching for their shells all morning and came back and made a turtle. Other people made their little castle. I guess it's more later in the year we'll have all the turtle migrations, or not migration, but the nesting. They restrict your lights on the beach. Oh, they're happy. Appreciate you joining in. Doing a walk down Sanibel Island's beaches. Today we got definitely quite a bit of driftwood from all the wind, I guess. Hi, happy. We'll see you later. Oh, they're way. Appreciate you joining in. Checking out the beach. See if any treasures have washed up on shore. This one here is a palm tree that washed up. lumber, all kinds of animals for the birds and stuff to eat off of. Seen bald eagles out here. People go shark fishing at night. We've caught some nice fish right off the beach here. The water's not awfully cold, it's just murky. I'm new, but I to you because you're nice to go out. Appreciate subscribe. I'd like to share some good things with all you great people. Try to explore different beaches around. Just, hopefully continue to share a lot of great things here in the future. So the tide's just starting to go out from what I can tell. So as it goes out, it'll start exposing different stuff on the beach here, shells and different driftwoods. We've had crabs wash up on shore that were tied to a fishing line and saved them in the past. When it's a little calmer, you can see a fish swimming back and forth on the beach. Might be a little reduced today wildlife too, because they've had that red tide not too far in the past year. So they had a little sandcastle in the back and a sea turtle. It's like they were trying to make a little wall or a little castle out of wet sand. Maybe they're going to add more to it later on today. We got some most likely whelk eggs. So each one of these little slices will have a dozen or so eggs in it. This would be another form of snail eggs. I don't remember which particular shell that was. See what they just laid it onto one of the razor clams. And as they hatch, they continue to grow. Very nice place to come hang out here. It's definitely season of the snails. Lots of the snail egg cases laying up. All of these. Hi there, Omar. We are in Sanibel Island, walking the beaches. I think it's about 2.5 years now. I want to say this Irma that came through here. These were all fully out of commission. At least 12 feet of water. So they definitely lost all their first floors. High winds, lost all the AC units, but they've fully refreshed everything now. There's still much more to be done. But they're definitely making it happen. It's probably not a bad day for the boogie boarding and body surfing the waves in. This beach is definitely unique as far as it can be flat, calm, and clear one day, and then these decent waves all day long the next. depending on the season and the part of the island, will depend on the shells you can find. Certain seasons you find the sand dollars, other times the little conchs. Always a different experience. One of the resorts that's back open again. Primarily the condos, and they just got sporadic hotels lined up. Got a little boogie boarder over here. So he's just figuring it out. Right there on the edge of the surf are breaking. The people searching for shells, a good spot to check there. They got a little drop off between 6 inches and a foot. And it just collects a lot of shell treasures. Another one of the egg cases. It's definitely today's biggest thing washed up so far is going to be these egg cases. Thousands and thousands of snails being reproduced. These guys are paper thin. It's got a little bit of damage to it, but I'm surprised they make it on the beach ever at all. So Sanibel Island is on the west coast of Florida. And maybe 100 years ago, it was one big island of Sanibel Captiva. A storm came through and washed out a passage between the two islands, between the one island making it two. And I believe that area is called Blind Pass. Put your tape one back. Thank you for the chat, for the super chat there. Let's see if I get to a shadow here to read this. Wait here. Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. We got another sandcastle being built over here. Kind of unique. They're just putting blobs of wet sand together. That person said they got with tapeworms, which are the egg cases, wrapping around it. Maybe that was built yesterday and we had a good rain. I think that's what happened. Those were built yesterday and the rainstorm has washed them down. Got some kite flying. Perfect weather for the kites for sure. But there's other beaches they'd like us to go check out and make notes of them and see what we can do to check them out. We got a clam. Very not uncommon, but it's not normal to find them still in one piece. all the way washed up on the beach. I think the coolest find we ever found was going to be the shark egg. Possibly like a stingray. They call it a skate. They're possibly a stingray and a shark. Very rough winter day, washed up. We were able to put it back on in the water. Hopefully, it was able to adhere somewhere and make a life for itself. These plastic seashells here, we'll pick that up and take it back with us. Appreciate y'all's support. So I think we'll get back to doing here soon. We had some busy times in personal life, but we'll get back to doing the beach cleanups, postal pickups down in the Keys, a few other places. Odd driftwood washing up today. People in the art world can do some really neat stuff with this. Yeah, so do what you got to do, and we look forward to you coming back. We appreciate the interaction and the supporting. We'll be doing this also tonight during the sunset. Just clear the sky is tonight. Should be an amazing sunset. This will keep up. Get some amazing orange colors coming through these guys on the west coast of Florida. And other than clouds, there's no obstruction between here and I guess Texas would be the nearest land. The interesting thing here too is this beach, how it changes so much. We have times where we've lost the beach almost all the way up to the green area sand dune. They'll come and put millions of dollars pumping the sand in, and shortly after the storms, Mother Nature will take it all back again. And there's other times they think that they're almost out of time, getting ready to do the work, and then a sand storm comes through and washes it all back up. Some more driftwood. Hello, 3X. We're in Sanibel, Florida, island on the west coast of Florida. All right, Yub. We'll see you. Be careful while you're driving. Here's west coast of Florida, near Fort Myers, Naples, south of Tampa. Those sunshades are the greatest here on these windy days. Another one of the makeshift sandcastles. I think because of the length of Florida, we have a lot of unique coastal lines here. There's some extremely remote stuff. Got endless sand beaches like this here. Appreciate trying. You can always definitely catch us again on the repeats. And keep an eye out. I think sunset's about 7-ish down here. I'll have to double check later. But we'll be definitely signing back on for a live sunset. Should be amazing tonight. I've only seen one kid doing a bit of body surfing on a boogie board. I don't think the waves are consistent enough to do any surfing today. This is an island just off the coastline. They do more of the surfing a little bit further south where it's more of a drop off, so you get better waves. The bottom structure here is ever changing with the storms. So they've almost lost this entire beach here up to the grass. And then after that last hurricane a couple years ago, built all this back out again. These are all those snail casings. You notice, depending on what part of the island you're on, is what washes up. There was none of this in this quantity just a little bit ago. This little guy is actually called tube worms. So it's a worm that will make a casing around itself for its home, and they live in little colonies. I knew we were having some storms back in Miami, but I guess it was definitely here too to wash all this stuff up spontaneously. Hopefully all the snails hatched already, and that's why they broke free and washed up. Clam, there's seasons of clams out here. Get the smaller punks, not a king punk, but they're just the size of the palm of your hand. We go through seasons of those, usually summertime. Still in a collection of driftwood here. Might take a couple pieces later on, do some mobiles or some wind chimes out of them later on. See what kind of creativity comes up. Curious if anybody out there's ever been to Sanibel Island before. It's a really cool antique restaurant on the next island over called Captivo. It's called the Bubble Room. 3 or 4 floors of antiques and restaurant. Some of the best cake you could have for desserts. It's a sponge that broke off. They try to keep any chain restaurants out of here, but there's a couple of them are making it to the island. Do some good surf fishing here sometimes. He's already caught a catfish. Kids are having a good time there. We caught a nice, probably 24, 30-inch snook here right at the beach one year. Keep the passage between Sanibel and Captiva. Great spot for catching snook as they go from the bay side of the island to the Gulf side. Come out here at nighttime, do some shark fishing. You can catch almost anything throughout the day and night, but they'll target the sharks at night. Start keeping track of how far I walk. 45 minutes away now. Lots of unique driftwood washing up today. They're not an overcrowded beach. Most part quiet. Nobody's got any stereos blaring. Lots of respect for space here. Maybe we get that little boat done, that boat project we're working on. Once we bring it here, they've got a few islands scattered around the coastline that you can go to for amazing shelling and sand dollaring. And one island where Jimmy Buffett was noted being there a lot. It's all off grid. They got a restaurant on there. That's where he did his cheeseburger of paradise. At least the visions of the song. Those are the rumors I've been told anyway. Being only a little 12-foot boat, we're going to need to have a much calmer day. When it comes to fishing here at the beach, you get these little valleys between the sandbars. Kind of see where the waves are breaking just off the beach. Then they go not breaking and breaking it on the beach. So that's a deeper area, funnel of fish through there. The fish will just cruise up and down the coastline chasing their food. And if you catch your bait or your lure with that area, increase your chance of catching them. Again, about 2 years ago, there was no greenery here. Luckily, Mother Nature is very resilient and making a comeback. Get some more driftwood here. Get some good garden artwork. So off in that direction there, let's see if I can zoom in for a second. You ever heard of Marco Island? That area should be Marco Island. And then this here would be Fort Myers, just on the mainland. And on a clear night like tonight, if those clouds will go away, the clouds might help. You can actually see the glow of Key West and some of the Alamrada area. Let's see the rest of the way out. Sorry about that. I'm going to get up to this next little section here where the umbrella is at. Head back and spend some time with the family for a few hours. And then we'll do another walk later on when the tide goes out a little bit more. If you ever seen the tables they make that are out of root systems, it's kind of how they'll get them. You get the trees that washed up off the beaches and some interesting tools, they can cut them down. If you're wondering what all this white foam is, this is all protein in the water, all the extra nutrients. The wave action is removing nutrients from the water that's not good anymore. A little bit of colored shells, but they're all broken today so far. Actually, you see how this is